And the Democrats are, I think, quite effectively leveraging the fact that we have literally 20 million Americans who are about 25 days out from either losing their insurance or having to pay 35, 50, 100, 200% increases in their healthcare premiums.
Impossible.
And the Democrats, one of the stipulations to the continuing resolution they want is a fix to the the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Really not a fix, just an extension of these subsidies that have been ongoing for several years. Remember, health insurance rates are going to go up simply because of the people who are being kicked off of Medicaid, because we're going to see people come into emergency rooms and seeking care. Hospitals are going to have to pay for that. All of their rates are going to go up, et cetera, et cetera. And insurance companies are already planning a gradual rise and increase in the prices of their premiums relative to what it would be if they just did it in late 2026 when those Medicaid provisions come in. However, the other issue is, of course, why would you vote for a budget when the president and the head of the Office of Budget Management have already said they're not going to abide by this budget anyways, that they can, at any time they want, unilaterally cut funds and withhold funds that have been appropriated. So why would you participate in that process? That is part of the demands of the Democrats. It's not the one that they're pushing because they apparently don't think the American public can understand that. Maybe. Not going to argue with the success that has existed to this point. But understand, the Republicans could pass this budget if they wanted to. They have so-called nuked the filibuster on already 3 different occasions this year. They have done it for appointees to the Trump administration. They have done it with restricting California's ability to increase their cafe standards. And there's been at least one other occasion. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the fact is, they have shown that the filibuster is not sacrosanct when they want to get rid of it. They just don't want responsibility to pass this budget without these extensions on the ACA subsidies, because then they know they are really in the hot seat. As far as I'm concerned, let's get rid of the filibuster. Let's get rid of it. Let's let the American public understand the implications of voting for one party or the other. And let's make both parties own their votes. The filibuster has been, in too many situations, a way to help both parties simultaneously avoid taking votes that they think are politically untenable or politically dangerous or risky. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has floated the idea of not paying furloughed workers. That is against the law. But again, he's been ignoring other laws. So whether he can do it and get away with it is two different things. What the government could do right now is they could fund a bill to pay people who are working and not getting checks. They could do this for federal workers too, who are furloughed. They're supposed to get back pay. If you're working now in the military or in the Gestapo, otherwise known as ICE, I think ICE is like some German acronym for Gestapo.
Yes, sir.
Apparently. but they could be paid now with just a piece of legislation. Remember, Congress has been told to go off on vacation, but they can be called back. Congress and the Senate still can pass laws. They could still swear in Congress people, but Mike Johnson doesn't want to do that. And here he is taking a call on C-SPAN and lying to a constituent.
Hi, Mr. Johnson. So my question or comments are related to what you said yesterday about not being open to pass any legislation to ensure that military gets paid. I'm sure you can tell by my voice I'm very shaky. Just want you to hear a little bit about my family. I have 2 medically fragile children. I have a husband who actively serves this country. He suffers from PTSD from his 2 tours in Afghanistan. If we see a lapse in pay come the 15th, my children do not get to get the medication that's needed for them to live their life, because we live paycheck to paycheck. I heard you earlier say that you side with President Trump on anything that he says. Well, I just read an article this morning that said he absolutely wholeheartedly believes that there needs to be legislation put in so that we do not miss a paycheck. You have the power to do that. And as a Republican, I'm very disappointed in my party, and I'm very disappointed in you, because you do have the power to call the House back. You did that, or you refused to do that just for a show. I am begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. We don't have the credit because of the medical bills that I have to pay regularly. You could stop this, and you could be the one that could say military is getting paid. And I think that it is awful, and the audacity of someone who makes 6 figures a year to do this to military families is insane.
All right, Samantha.
Samantha, I'm so sorry to hear about your situation. The reason I've been so angry this week, and they've been calling me out on media, Johnson's angry. I am angry because of situations just like yours. I have a big military district, and my district is the home of the Global Strike Command at Barksdale Air Force Base and Fort Polk, the Joint Readiness Training Center. I have
That's
one
irrelevant.
of the biggest military districts and military families in America. I have a lot of airmen and soldiers who are deployed right now, and they have young families at home, and they have children in health situations like yours. This is what keeps me up at night.
No, it doesn't.
I want you to hear something very clearly. The Republicans are the ones delivering for you. We had a vote to pay the troops. It was the continuing resolution 3 weeks ago. Every single Republican but 2 voted to keep the government open so that your paycheck can flow. Every Democrat in the House, except for 1, voted to close it. The Democrats are the ones that are preventing you from getting a check. If we did a vote on the floor, pay troops, it's not a lawmaking exercise, because Chuck Schumer is going to hold that up in the Senate. He is demonstrating by voting now 6 times to keep the government closed that he does not want the troops to be paid. And you should listen to his comments last night, as reported this morning. He is enjoying this. He said every day gets better for us, quote unquote. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are preventing your family from getting the care they need, not Republicans, and my heart goes out to you.
Now, I don't know what it is in Mike Johnson's private life that has made him so good at lying. Like, I mean, to get that good at lying, you almost have to live a lie in your private life. But that's not important. What's important is, let's just go. I think this is a clip from literally hours earlier. It was this press conference yesterday. No, this is 2 days ago. So this was 1 day earlier. Here is Mike Johnson being asked that same question. Are you open to passing legislation? Because at the beginning of the call, the woman said, you said you weren't open to passing legislation. He may have said that on Wednesday, but on Tuesday, this is what he said. And guess what? It was not Chuck Schumer who came in and said, we won't pass that in the Senate. Watch this clip.
I know you said the House has done its job. However, military members are going to be missing a paycheck on October 15th. Critical air traffic controllers are already missing from the job in some areas. Yeah. Would you be open to pay for members of the military and air traffic controllers as an emergency measure in the next week or so, or 2 weeks?
Yeah, we're monitoring it day by day. I'm certainly open to that. We've done it in the past. We want to make sure that our troops are paid. I have colleagues like Congresswoman Jen Kiggans of Virginia, who has a big military district. She's already filed legislation to pay our troops. We're looking forward to processing all this as soon as we gather everybody back up. But again, the most immediate thing is turn the lights back on here and keep Congress working so we can take care of all this important business.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, you don't need that. You don't need to. Obviously, there are certain constituencies, many of whom are going to be impacted in a very negative way by what's happening here. But the simplest way to end it.
Okay, all right, let's stop it right
Speaker.
there. Watch Mike Johnson's head. He's just said we're open to doing that. And then John Thune, who is the majority leader in the Senate, he doesn't want to bring that bill up. And Mike Johnson, like the little puppy he is, he nods. Yes, sir. Like Thune comes in and says, little guy, get out of the way.
Excuse me. Let's get the 6-foot guy in here.
Yeah,
please.
exactly. Listen, 4'3", step over the side. I'm going to come in here and tell you why this is wrong. Look at this.
Open to that. We've done it in the past. We want to make sure that our troops are paid. I have colleagues like Congresswoman Jen Kiggans of Virginia, who has a big military district. She's already filed legislation.
Oh, there's already legislation. Is that
We're looking
right?
forward to processing all this as soon as we gather
so we
everybody
could do
back
we
up.
could
But
do
again,
this
the
if you
most
just
immediate
called
thing
everybody
is
back
turn the
in.
lights back on here and keep Congress working so we can take care of
Well,
all
you
this
could call
important
them
business.
back in and they could
Yeah,
keep looking. Watch his
honestly,
head.
I mean,
Watch his head.
You don't need that. You don't need to.
Right.
Obviously,
Oh, I
there
screwed
are
up.
certain
I screwed up.
sorry.
Yeah.
constituencies, many
So
of
I'm
whom
sorry.
are gonna be
I'm
impacted.
sorry.
We
I'm
could, but
sorry.
we don't need
I'm
it.
sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry.
like
I'm
a
sorry.
ventriloquist arguing with his dummy.
Exactly. But I mean, look at how Mike Johnson was able to take that call from a military wife, mother of 2 children, who she's afraid they're going to die.
The most desperate circumstances.
And he then just does a 180 from what he had said 36 hours before, completely lies about it. Completely lies about it. And here's the thing. If you think the Democrats could hold out, if you think Chuck Schumer is going to stand in the way of military personnel getting paid, you're nuts. Put aside whether they should be getting paid now or not. Frankly, all federal workers should be getting paid while they're furloughed. They're supposed to get back pay. We should be paying them right now. But if you think Chuck Schumer's going to stand in the way of that, no. John Thune and his little yes man, Mike Johnson, they don't want to take the pressure off. They want to force the Democrats to vote for a continuing resolution, even though it means nothing. Donald Trump can stop paying whatever he wants because they're not holding him to it. Johnson is just, this guy has a violent allergy to the truth. He's just sitting there like grinding out lie after lie.
It's crazy to have a Christian podcast about like how to have your principles reflect in politics and just be the most flagrant liar.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like the truth goes through a meat grinder with this guy, honestly. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.